In the previous episode, we finally expanded vertically by adding 2 new buildings right behind me, which we used to semi-automate gravel and solve the andesite problem, and finally reached infinite lava status. And in today's episode, we will be tackling this area by making it all look a little bit better before transforming this area into the old power plant that used to power the old city. So we have quite a lot of things that I need to get done in today's episode, but I'm so excited that we will finally be getting power in this area in some form that is not just water wheels, because I do not want the lag from last season again. But before we do that, just look at this. I reorganized this entire area, so we've got everything neatly packed out. So we have all of our bigger backpacks, and by bigger I mean these are the ones that we brought from the overworld that contain our limited resources, and these are the ones that I just want to keep so that we work sparingly, because if we run out of any of these blocks, say for example like redstone or any of these blocks before we create a farm, we might be in some serious trouble. Well, I guess we have wandering trader eggs. Where are they? Over there, that we could use to try and buy some of this stuff, but I don't really want to do that. And then down here we have our first set of backpacks. We have our wood one, our create one, our building block one, and our deco one. And then yeah, that's just over there. We've got some barrels over here, and these will be our project barrels. So as I design and build stuff in creative, I will add the little blueprint, the schematic there. You can see it's like, for example, the power base. We have a clipboard, and in a backpack I moved the little bone meal farm over here. So this is basically it. So I just changed this up a bit, and I think it looks so much better. I do think I need to add maybe some form of table in the center, because it does kind of feel a bit empty and unused or unutilized in this area. But apart from that, I do think it looks quite nice. And if we run up here, still nothing up here, and still nothing up here as well. I have been thinking a lot about this area, so this floor and the floor below I think we're going to keep as is. We will add things to it, but this floor up there, you see there's the door. I am not sure if we're going to be able to use that door or if we will redesign it in general. I'll have to think about it, and also if you think we should redesign that and do something different with it, let me know down in the comments. But yeah, so let's quickly run in here just to see what we've got. So in here we've got a total of 1312 andesite, which is not bad. I mean, coming from having a stack left to 1312, that is quite impressive. So we have that going, and I also filled these up with all of the flint that we got from manually washing iron. So we've got a bunch more flint in there, and the gravel's also standing still at the moment because it's full there, and it's also full over here as well. So that is quite good news. I did however think of, come on, something I just want to see. Yeah, we've got still a lot of cobble in there, so we can now again manually just rip out this one. This is actually not the drawer for this, and we can just move it around, and we can continue making some andesite, because I do think we're going to need quite a lot in the builds for today. So just important, rip that out first, otherwise you might end up putting a draw into the system, and I don't think we want to do that. Yeah, see, there it goes. It shouldn't take too much of the gravel for flint, because we did fill up those drawers, which is gonna help a lot so that we get a lot more andesite and not just use the gravel for flint. Ouch. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I've been doing. Been waffling on. We've got quite a lot of things done. So what I think that we need to do is we need to quickly gather up the resources for this little beautification of this build, because what I've got planned is, if we hop into free cam, I did design some form of wall to cover all of this up, because let's face it, this does not look nice, and also the same on this wall over here. So we'll have a little base to this which will make it look nicer, and then the idea is to change this area into a power plant for this old city, undercity, whatever you want to call it. And it's not going to be very big. I'm going to use the basic lava for a steam engine, and I'm just going to have one steam engine in this area. And then I was thinking we can utilize this area over here maybe for a control room for all the power, and then that will get get split into the different areas. We'll have a line going here, a line for these buildings, and a line for this building. And that's all we're going to do here. And then the idea is that we have a secondary power plant, maybe a bit higher, also utilizing this area, but almost like they've built over this area to create the bigger power plant for the higher levels. And I want it to be like, the higher we go, the better it gets as well. So we'll have one power plant there. We might have two on this level, and we might have wind on top. I don't know yet, but that's the general idea for today's episode. So I think resource gathering, that's going to be the first thing on my list, and I'm not going to bring you guys along because it's just going to be me sorting through backpacks and making sure I've got everything in the right bags. So yeah, I'll see you when I'm done with that. So while we're here casually waiting for more resources to come in, I thought I would take the opportunity to ask you all to subscribe. A total of only 18% of you that watches my videos are subscribed. The other 82%, well, you're missing out. Come on, subscribe. That way you'll never miss another episode. Go ahead. I know you want to. So I've managed to gather all the resources that we're going to need to fix this whole area. But before we do that, I think we need to maybe just rip out everything we have over here. And I'm going to rip out everything up into this point right here, because we're going to have to place a bunch of stuff in this area using schematics, and I'm so scared we delete some of these things. I also went ahead and backed up the world because I really don't want the lava to disappear when I place a schematic or something like that. So I think that's going to be the first thing. So ripping up every single item in this area. So I'm just going to start with the water wheel because let's turn off power, and then we can take this without the risk of lava spewing out all over. So I'll bring you guys back once I am done ripping out all of this. And now we have a really big clean canvas, and I'm quite excited about the build that we're going to build in this area. I'm just thinking of it. I might grab this as well. Let's plonk it over here because we're not going to be building anything in this area. But as I was saying, I'm quite excited about everything getting into place and making this area look a bit like something, and finally getting some form of proper power in this area that will utilize the infinite lava source, and well, also get rid of all of the water wheels, that's the word. So yeah, I think we need to do that. I think whoop, that's my face. I think you guys need to sit back and enjoy, as we do, I think, a pretty long build montage. I might break it up into two. I'll see how it goes. So yeah, just sit back, grab a snack, and enjoy. Okay, so it's not yet time-lapse time. No. I quickly wanted to just show you guys the amount of schematics. So these are all the schematics. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and as you can see, these are packed with resources. So that's what I meant, quite a long time lapse. I will naturally speed it up and everything, but yeah, grab yourself a proper drink and snack as we roll this time lapse. Enjoy. Now I know it doesn't seem that long, but boy, oh boy, did those time lapses take quite a while to do. And well, then to edit it all into pieces, that made sense. And to ignore the big blooper, I don't know if you noticed it, but there was a part where the schematic was placing, but it wasn't placing, it was actually removing blocks, and it was just a to and from between pausing and doing and fixing and all of those things. So ignore that, but I did fix it, the build off camera, and I think it looks grand. So let's go down. Let's go check what this area looks like. And the first place we're going to look at is right over here on the staircase. We've got this little warning sign or hazard sign, and if you enter in here, this will be the little substation or power station for this area. So between episodes, I will dig out a little tunnel system that will run all of these 3 individual lines to the different buildings, like mentioned, the workshop building, the building right over here that does the andesite, and then also the cobble gen building, cobble gen building as well. So that will happen down here, and we can decorate this a bit more. We can maybe put in some levers to turn certain areas off with clutches and stuff. But for now, this is what the little power station looks like. Also, to make sure that nobody comes in, we've got buttons. We've got buttons to go in and come out because safety first. Then if we head up here, we are greeted with this little barrier, and I did a few more decals. We did a warning and a skull one, and then I just added these little trapdoors with the hazard red concrete, which allows for us to go in and everything, but it just looks like a little barrier that says, hey, stay out of this area, which I do really like. And then this area over here is how we're going to get the power into the substation. So the idea is we'll have a steam power plant, I think, in this area. Well, not I think, in this area. And we can do just water tanks, not water, lava tank supplies running down here. Say 3 or 4 or 5, maybe 4 over here. And we can add an additional little one over here that puts lava into a bucket that feeds the power plant, and I really do like that a lot. We do have additional pipes there that we can use for aesthetic purposes, or they can actually connect to these pipes and become a functioning build on its own. But I do like how this came together. Oh, and like mentioned, so then the power will go in there, it'll run across this little area and down over there into the substation. And I thought it was really important to make it a feature because that's what it was about. And if we jump into FreeCam, we can take a look at this area, and I do think this might be my favorite part of the area. I did fix up, you would have noticed there was a blooper down here as well, but I did fix it up, and I just love these vents. I think they're really cool looking. We've got some more detail on this side, and I did see a Pinterest post about different vents and everything, and I took some inspiration from that, so I will see if I can find a post and link it down in the description. But yeah, that's the base of this thing, and I think it looks really sturdy and really cool, and I can't wait to do something similar in this area and get this area really grounded. But let's just look at it from the top. I think all of this looks fantastic, and I think it will look cool once we get to a point where we can build something that almost covers or goes over this area on top of it, that also utilizes the lava down here. But now that we've got a bunch of builds in and all the building out of the way, I think we need to plonk down a few tanks, do a few pumps, and get this area somewhat working so we can have some form of power generation happening. So we nearly have everything to build this little starter power station. The only thing required is blaze burners. Yeah. We need to do blaze burners. So for that, we're going to head on inside real fast. And we're just going to craft up the blaze burners, which I do have the materials for, which is fine. And then we're going to place down our spawner. We're going to place in the blaze egg, and we'll just wait for them to spawn and then nab them as quick as possible. And once done, we can just right click this and the egg should pop out. I don't know how long this is going to take to spawn, so yeah, it's the waiting game now. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we got all of them. That was terrifying, the fact that it spawned all 4 at once, but that was quite quick. We've got all 4 the blaze burners, so now we can head back to the power station. So it's editing me, and it just occurred to me that I could have just right clicked the spawner with the blaze burners and we wouldn't have had to do that 4-way tango. Nice. It helps if I sometimes think, hey. So the first thing I'm going to build is the power station, and we need to determine exactly where it's going to be. So I want the power to feed into this area over here, and then I want it to get water from this area over here. You'll notice it's a 3 wide. I just thought it would look a little bit better, but we're only going to do a 2 wide power station, so it will be most probably over here somewhere. I think let's place the burners down. I think if they're right over here, and then if the tank goes into this position, then this should be fine. And then this area over here, I need to put in like a little gear shift like that. And the idea is that we have the power going 3 highs, so the power will go into those, and from there it will go into... Can I reach that? No. Let's try doing this. I've got an extra 2. And then from there, it will push the power over to that direction in general, to the little substation. So that is the idea of that. And then we need to get this high enough to... Let's go up again. So we can do power up to this level. So is that one more? Yeah, that's one more. So that was fine like that. So from here, we will then connect engines 2 to 2. That will then connect into those encased chain drives. So if we were then to place the engines right over here, and we just extend these, they should connect perfectly. And then we can just add a secondary row over there. And again, just extend those. And now we've got all of those connected. So this in theory should be our boiler. We just need to get water in here from over here. I'm thinking let's put 2 temporary little tanks over there. We're going to have to do a third one as well. I'm just not sure. Let's do it like this. Let's do 3 for now. And then from there we're going to have water flowing into these like... Nope, they need to go up 1 higher. Like so, and we're going to bring them over, and we can just rip out these at the bottom. And then for my own delight, we're just going to turn these around so they don't connect all the way through, and then we can just do 1, 2 like that. So now we'll have the pumps flowing water into, or pumping water into this boiler, so it should work once we power everything up. We just need to add water into this area, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm terrified, because I'm so terrified we do something and we flood the entire lava source down here, and we get like a little obsidian farm. But so far so good. I did make sure to not build this out of any form of slab or any of those type of things, so it should be fine. Yeah, that should be fine. So that's the idea. So now we have water and everything, and we're going to power this, and we'll power this using the steam engine. It'll bring power down over here. I'm only thinking about this now. This might have to get ripped out, and we can add another gearbox, or we can bring it all the way down and we can just have cogs running over on this level. Maybe that's the easier one. Let's do that. So over here we can do... Let's place these 2 blocks here. We'll add another one over there. We'll do 1 shaft over there, and we can just do a cog over there. So let's go grab one real quick. And if we place that down here, we'll have a cog. Oh, I was supposed to bring more. But then that will then power these pumps that will power this boiler, or will provide water to this boiler. I am thinking I should maybe add a 3rd pump at the back here that doesn't touch these 2 with a little hand crank. So if it does seize, we can just come manually crank it, and it will just put in water right over there. So we'll have a pump sitting in that position like so. Yeah, I think that can work. And we'll just do a little manual crank for it. I might have to rip out some more blocks. I'm just thinking about it now. Unless we do... I wanted to put it there, but then it's still in the way. Okay, let me think about this real quick. Okay, so I think I figured out something. I did the 2 pumps, I added another cog over there, and I put a water wheel in the back that constantly powers this. And then I also did the chain drives that power this once the steam engine goes. And I don't know if we give this heat, does it do anything? Yeah, see, the heat is up, but the water is still not there. So the water is not coming in fast enough, I do believe. See, we need 10 MB per tick. So I wonder if we add a 3rd pump. Can we add a third pump? Can we fit a third pump somewhere in here? We can. Can I rip this out? Let's first see if we just do this. If this is fast enough, or no, wrong button. This one, does this produce enough water now? Yeah, okay, so that's producing enough water at that speed if we do three pumps. Now we just need to see if we can fix this so this actually powers this faster or makes the pumps work faster. Okay, I'm going to do that off camera, quickly sort this out, and I'll bring you right back. Okay, so I don't think I've really solved it. I ripped out a bunch of stuff again. I do have a little hand crank there. But in order for me to use that hand crank, I need to remove this pump temporarily. So it's not a permanent fix, but it's somewhat of a fix. I will ponder this a little bit more during or in between episodes, because basically what I need to do is I need to have an individual system. So between episodes, I might dig out a hole and add a water wheel system to power these pumps instead of using this direct line, because it's better to have a backup. So I know that needs to happen, but I'm just a bit pressed for time, and I want to do a bit of building over here. If we're done with this and we have time, we will continue figuring this out on camera or otherwise in between episodes. So the next thing we need to do is we need to get fuel into the system. So I'm going to go for the basic thing where we have a little mechanical arm over here somewhere giving, or well, maybe over here somewhere, giving some lava to these little guys, and he's going to pick it up from a depot in this position, and this depot needs to pump the lava or get the lava from a tank that I think is going to be in this area, because then that way we can connect these little pipes up as well. And I'm just going to do that again because I don't want them to connect, and then again the same on this side. So over here I think it is wise to have a little tank, and let's make it the same height as the wall. Yeah, so from here we'll do a little spout, and the spout will put lava into a depot. The depot will then or the lava will then get picked up by a mechanical arm that will feed these blaze burners. Then I think what we need to do is we should maybe add an additional tank over here. So we've got 2 tanks, and then maybe one over here, and one over here, and I'm actually considering leaving this gap open for the time being, or even this one maybe, but this one needs to be in place for sure, and we're going to do the same height as this again, because this is going to be the one that taps into the infinite lava source and transports the lava all the way into these different areas. And then from here we can also tap for the farms. That's what these are for, so we can run pipes directly into those builds. So I do think this will be the start. We don't have a lot of tanks. I've got 6 on me and nothing in here, so for the time being I think we're going to rip these 2 out. We're going to keep this one as a placeholder. I think what we can do is we can maybe just build up the corner like so, and we can maybe even build up this one as well, the corner as well. Maybe this corner over here. Yeah, that way we have all the corners and everything in place, and we know where the other tanks, so we can gather some more copper between episodes and we can fill up these tanks as well, which should work out in our favor. Then for these tanks I think we need to run our pumps in, and I think we're going to stick to that height, almost 1 lower than the total height. So we'll have a pump running in over here. We're going to have to do an additional pump in between these 2. So if this one's going to be too wide, then this pump will sit over there somewhere. We could just turn it around, and then for now it's just going to connect with a pipe over there, and then from here it will also run over this way. And I think again we should maybe connect the pump to this side, because this is going to be the far corner. And then if we have the pump over there, then we'll have to do a gearbox over here. Okay, no. So I think for this one, we'll actually put the pump maybe over there. So we'll pump into that one, and then we'll have a gearbox in this corner, which means we might have to run this over, and maybe we'd rather do the pump over here, like so. Yeah, that could work out nicely. And then that should be it for these. This one has to be 1, maybe a second one. Can we do a second one? No, we can't. Okay, so I will just add another one, and on there we're going to do our little hose pulley that will pull the lava from the infinite source, and then we'll pump it all the way through into here. From there we'll pump into there, and then from here we need to connect the whole, what do you call that thing? I forgot the name again. The spout. So yeah, the spout. So let's grab a few more resources. So right over here is where we're going to have the mechanical arm. So I'm going to lift that up, and then I'm going to put the mechanical arm on top of this. I think we should have the depot over here where it collects from. So we're going to do that. We'll do a depot. So we're going to say pick up and feed these little guys. And then we put our mechanical arm over there, which is perfect. And it's going to pick up from here. I'm wondering, yeah, we're gonna have to do a system where we kind of tell it to, let's just grab some more of these, where we kind of tell it to deposit the empty buckets into this system, and in this, then we'll chuck them out, and then once the empty buckets are out, they will get refilled, and they will get pushed into the system. Whoa. Okay, so just repeat. It's going to put the empty buckets into a funnel that deposits it into a barrel or chest or whatever, and that will put it out to the depot where it will get filled up and then gets picked up. So I'm just going to quickly design this little part. Okay, so I might have gotten a little bit carried away. This thing's running at full speed. We've got lava going into these little guys. I set up the mechanical arm and I changed it around a little bit. So currently we take lava from this depot over here. We feed it over into these, and once it's done, it will put the empty bucket back into that barrel. If we head on over back here, this funnel disposes of the empty bucket, which will land in this area where a spout will refill it before it gets picked up by this brass funnel, which is said to only pick up lava buckets. So I did feed a few buckets into it, and then it just repeats. This one will then just output the lava buckets. I did go ahead and connected all of this up with a bunch of cogs and shafts, just because I wanted to make sure if everything is in the right position. I am, however, having a bit of mixed feelings about the whole way or the whole aesthetic appeal of this thing. I don't know. I'm not really feeling this. That feels a bit out. So I'm not sure. I might bring those encased chain drives all the way down and then just do the power from the bottom. And well, this one doesn't really matter. It is what it is because we already have the power running over, and it might also look better once we encase all of these in the copper casing as well. But that's the general idea. So now the only thing I need to do is hook up the hose pulley to this area. So if we were to go up a few blocks like so, and let's go over, and I think the hose pulley should maybe sit right over here. Yeah, that feels a decent amount in. So if we do that, and what I want to do is I'm first going to rip out this little shaft over there, and now we're going to place this on here. And if I were to lower this all the way down, is this going down? Yeah, it is going down. Will it still say infinite? I don't know if it's all the way down yet. It is all the way down. We still have that little source nugget thing over there. So let's quickly see if I add a shaft. Okay, it still says bottomless supply, which is fantastic. So now we should be pulling in lava. Yeah, we do. We're pulling in lava over there, and let's just add that over there. And let's just do these as well so we can just see all the lava flow through. Perfect. And I already heard the funnel filling up as well, the buckets. Yeah, awesome. So all of this is working. So we, in theory, should have power going from now on. These tanks should all fill up. And all I need to do is connect this pipe over to that pipe. And I will maybe just do a little temporary pipe running across, because I've got something planned for this area and for this area as well. So I don't want to do something too fancy, because we're anyway going to rip it out in the next episode when we get all of that built. But I think what I need to do now is just maybe finish up and just make all of these copper as well, maybe change this, and then I'll bring you guys right back. So we finished it all. I've connected all the pipes. I've made it all look a little bit prettier. I've added these little trapdoors on top just to give it a bit more of a structured feel with columns on the sides. While I also then tried to add some beams in this area to frame this a whole lot better. And I have to admit, I kind of do like this area. I don't know if we should add a bit of clutter on the floor, maybe add a barrel or stuff, but I kind of like the open clean area feeling of this. I also went ahead and closed all of this behind bars, so that's working fine. And then I'm not really sure how we're going to use those pipes. I might do something like this running along the wall, or that could be for future projects. We can have pulleys over there, but for now I think all of this is looking really interesting. And if we head on out and we just take a little look through the sides, yeah, I do like the way this came together. It kind of feels like it's supposed to be barricaded off and you can't really go in there, or it's not open to the public. And I think it just complements the area really nice. And I think we need to hop into free cam and just have a look at this all. Yeah, I do like that. I think this is still my favorite part by far. It just looks so good. And I know it doesn't have a lot of height to it, but like mentioned, we will be adding on top of it in layers, so I'm not too concerned about the lack of height because we will get there. And also, this building still needs a second floor. I've got something in mind, and that will bring in a bit more height in this area, which is also a little bit terrifying because once we give height to this building, the lower area is kind of reaching a point where it's full, which means we need to start thinking of a second tier, and that is even more terrifying. But that's not a worry for today. I also just want to show you then, if we head on through here and if we enter, oh, too slow. If we enter in here, we have all of these spinning as well, so they all have power. And the idea is generally, if we head on into free cam again, that we do some form of cave system or tunnel system or sewer system that runs in this general direction, and from here it will branch into 1, 2 and 3 different areas. So we will be able to power all of these areas and rip out all these water wheels that cause unnecessary lag. So that is something I have to look into, but I will do that in between episodes. Maybe I'll do some kind of Discord stream, I don't know. But yeah, that's the idea. And then we can add some clutches and controls for all the contraptions and so forth. So I'm really liking this area, and I do like how all of this came together. So sadly, that brings us to the end of this episode. I ran out of time, but I think we accomplished quite a lot in this area in regards to powering the area and also making this little side of the city look a little bit better. And down in the comments, let me know what is your favorite part of this build, and also what do you think we should build next. I have an idea of things that I need to add, but I'm quite curious to hear what you guys would like to see. And also, if you haven't done so yet, please remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye for now.